Guys, I am your Dinesh. Today we are starting a new chapter of your CBSE class 10 marks guys. It is arithmetic progression. So still now we have completed 3 chapters, that is polynomials, pair of linear equations in 2 variables and quadratic equation, right? So this is the 5th chapter of your NCERT textbook guys. So this chapter is quite small, it's not large and quite interesting as well guys. And this chapter probably you have not studied in any of your lower classes before. So please do concentrate a bit guys in the starting because it's going to be important. That's going to be set as your base for the entire chapter, right? So I have given 5 examples here guys. So let's start with the example itself. I'll explain what arithmetic progression actually means with these examples. If you see all these 5 examples guys, you will be able to find that there is some pattern in them, right? There's some pattern between the terms, right? Okay guys, now I'll tell you what arithmetic progression means. It is a series, okay, in such a way that the preceding term and the succeeding term have a common ratio among all the terms. For example, there will be a common difference between these 2 terms and these 2 terms and these 2 terms. If you see there is a common difference between all the terms, see between these 2 terms, that is, this is the succeeding term and this is the preceding term. If you consider, the difference is 1. And if you consider the difference between these 2 terms, this one becomes the preceding term and this one becomes the succeeding term. When you consider these 2, that time the difference between the preceding minus the succeeding term, that is, succeeding means something which succeeds, which is going forward in the series, and preceding means which is something back, right? For example, we'll take the same example. I write it here. So 1 2 3 4, so 2 becomes preceding to 1, 2 becomes succeeding to 1, 3 becomes succeeding to 2, and 4 becomes succeeding to 3, and 1 becomes preceding to 2, and 2 becomes preceding to 3, and 3 becomes preceding to 4. Getting it guys? If there are 2 terms, 1 and 2, 2 is next, right, is next to 1, which means it succeeds 1. So this becomes succeeding term and this becomes preceding term. Getting it? So the difference between preceding term and the succeeding term is same here. If you consider now these 2, the difference between them is same, and the difference between them as well is same, that is 1 1, and even the difference between them is same as well. Getting it? There's a difference of 1. When you add 1 to the preceding term, you get the succeeding term, that is 2. When you add 1 to the preceding term, in this case you get the succeeding term, that is 3. When you add 1 to this number 3, you get 4 as your next succeeding term, right? So there's a common difference between each term and it progresses, so it's called as progression. Getting it? Arithmetic means what is arithmetic guys? Arithmetic means plus or minus, right? You are going to add or subtract any number. It can't just be, it's not necessarily that we have to add only 1. It can also be something like this. For example, if the first term is 1 and if you add plus 2 to it, getting it, the succeeding term of 1 will become 3. Getting it? If you add plus 2 to it, the succeeding term after 3 is going to become 5. When you add again plus 2, the succeeding term is going to become 7 after 5. Getting it guys? If you see here, it is 1 3 5 7. If you see all these terms, the common difference between them is just 2. Getting it? So this becomes, this difference, common difference is denoted by D guys, and it is named as common difference. These are few terms which you'll be using throughout the chapter guys. So it's very important that you learn these terms now itself, right? It's called as common difference, right? And the first term of the series, the first term, for example, if you consider this as a series which goes on 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and it goes on till infinite, if you consider this as a progression, this as an arithmetic series, this as an arithmetic progression, then the first term of the arithmetic progression you will call it as A. So A in this case will become 1. Getting it guys? So after the first term, the succeeding term you will get by A plus 1. What is 1 here? D, right? So the second term you will get as A plus D. When you do A plus D, you are getting the second term. When you do A plus 2D, you are getting the third term. Getting it guys? So what is the general form of an arithmetic progression? It is, first there is A, and then there is A plus D, and then there is A plus 2D, because 2 times if you jump, it becomes, you get 3. So the general form of an AP is A comma A plus D comma A plus 2D comma A plus 3D and so on. Getting it, guys? Getting the point? For example, if you consider A as 1, like we'll take the same example again to make it easy to understand. If we take A as 1, here A plus D will become, if we take D as 1, so A plus D will become 1 plus 1, 2. Here it will become A is 1 plus 2 into D is same. D is going to remain same throughout the series, and A is also going to remain throughout the series. Only the term you will be getting when you substitute those values. So A is 1 and D is also 1, then it will become A plus 2 into 1, that will become 1 plus 2 into 1, that is 3. Here it will become 1 plus 3 into 1, that is 4. Getting it, guys? The AP is getting generated. The same formula if you apply for this AP. For example, this AP, if you see, guys, what is the common difference in this AP? And what is the, okay, let first tell me what is the A term in this AP, in this arithmetic progression. So arithmetic progression will also be calling as in short form as AP, right? So in this AP, if you see, what's the first term, that is A. So here A is equal to 100. And what is D? D you will get by doing this thing, guys. You will get D by doing, for example, okay, first we'll assume, okay, for example, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. For example, this is the series, right? If this is the series, this is the general form of a series, guys, and this is also a general form of an AP. This is also an general form of an AP. So D, how will you get? D is the difference, right? D you will get by A2 minus A1. Getting it, guys? Second term minus first term will give you the D. Not just second term minus first term, also the third term minus second term. Any succeeding and preceding terms, if you subtract them, you are going to get the value of D. That is succeeding term minus the preceding term of any two terms, any two pairs. If you do it, you are going to get the value of D. So D from here you will get a 70 minus 100, right? Succeeding minus preceding, that is A2 minus A1. This is A1, this is A2, this is A3, and this is A4, and it goes on so on, still AN. So if you see, what is D? D is A2 minus A1, which is nothing but equal to 70 minus 100, which is equal to minus 30. Getting it, guys? So in this case, D is minus 30. If you see here also, it's quite logical, right? If you minus 30 from 100, you're going to get 70. If you minus 30 from 70, you're going to get 40. If you minus 30 from 40, you're going to get 10. Again, if you do minus 30 to 10, you're going to get minus 20. So this is going to be your A5 term, guys. After that, again, if you do minus 30, it's going to become minus 50, right? So that's how you're going to do it, guys. Getting it? As simple as that. So for example, okay, guys, now let's look at what does a general term. For example, this was a fourth term, right? This was a fifth term. This was A5 term. They had given 4, right? Still A4 they are given. So A5th we could find it because we just subtracted minus 30 to it, because we know after each succeeding term, preceding term plus that difference going to give you the succeeding term after that term, right? So we found A5. If they tell you to find A121, right, how will you do it, guys? It will come tough, right? You can't go on writing still 121. You can't go on writing 121 terms. So there is something called as general formula. In general formula, what you have to do is you have to just put the value of A and the value of D into that formula, and you will be getting the value of that nth term. Getting it? So that formula is very important, guys. I am telling you again, it's very important. That formula is A of nth is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the most important formula of this chapter, guys. Trust me, it's the most important. Not just to this chapter, but also in all your future chapters, it's going to be the most important. That is A plus n minus 1 into D. So if you see here, for example, guys, we want the fifth term in this series. Okay, we want the value of fifth term in this series. So we'll get it using that formula. So you have to put the value of A first. A is 100, right? So what we want, A fifth term, that's what we wanted, is equal to A is 100, right? A is 100 plus which term we wanted? Fifth. So n value is 5 minus 1. And what is the value of D, guys? Here we found D as 70 minus 100, right? A2 minus A1 gives you D. I'll write it here again. D is equal to A2 minus A1. Getting it, guys? Or in general, D equal to A of n plus 1 minus A of n. That is one term which is precedes minus the succeeding, succeeding term minus the preceding term is going to give you D. Getting it, guys? Succeeding term minus preceding term. Succeeding means which is towards the, for example, this is succeeding and this is preceding. If you consider these two numbers, so to get the value of D, you have to do 4 minus 3. Getting it, guys? So that's the value of D. So D, okay, so here what is the D? D is 70 minus 100. 70 minus 100 is minus 30. Now we have to just do the calculation. This will become 100. This will become 40. Sorry, it will become 4. 4 into minus 30 will become minus 120. 100 minus 120 is minus 20. If you see A5 term, guys, we got minus 120. Sorry a lot. So we are going to get minus 20 itself. Getting it? Now for example, if you want to find A in this series itself, some A21st term. So what we'll do, we'll just put the value of A and D in that equation, and in place of n we'll be putting 21. So we'll get it as A of 21 equal to A is 100 plus n minus 1 is 21 minus 1 into D is minus 30. Getting it, guys? If you solve this, this will become 100 plus 20 into minus 30. So this becomes minus 600. 100 minus 600 is minus 500. So guys, in this series, if you keep writing the series, still the 21st term in this series, then you will get the value of the 21st term in the series as minus 500. So there was no need to write the entire series, but by just plugging in the value in that equation, we could get the value of 21st term in the series. That's the importance of that equation, guys. That formula, an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Getting it, guys? For example, okay, let's consider this fourth example. In fourth example, if you see, guys, all the term are 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, which means a is equal to 3. A is the first term, right? So a is equal to 3. What is d? There is no, there's no difference between the terms, right? All is 3 means what is the difference between them? There's no difference, that is 0 difference. That is d equal to 0. Or you can apply the formula as well. So what is the formula of d? A2 minus A1. If you do A2 minus A1, 3 minus 3 you will get, which is nothing but equal to 0, as I said you. So now if you want to find the, say, 23rd term of this series, so what you will do, you will apply that formula. 23rd term means A of n equal to A plus n minus 1 into d. So A of 23rd equal to A plus 23rd minus 1 into d. So this will become like, what is A? A is 3 plus 23 minus 1 is 22, and what is the difference? The difference is 0. So 0. So 3 plus 22 into 0. Anything into 0 is going to give you 0 itself, which means the final answer is 3. Getting it, guys? In this series, if you see, everything is 3, right? Even any term in this series, you will get as 3 itself. Be it 21st, be it 29th, be it 34th. All the term in the series is going to be 3 itself. Getting it, guys? That's how you'll be using that formula. So please make sure that you learn this formula now itself, guys, because it's very important, right? Yeah, guys, now you can take the screenshot. Okay, there's actually a small derivation of this formula, but okay, I'll tell you how it is, how we got this formula, guys. So if you see here, this is the fourth term, right? If you see the fourth term here, if you see this number, this is 3, this is 1 less than 4. So if you want nth term, n here d, next to d, the term should be n minus 1. Getting it, guys? So here it is 3 means, here it is 3 minus 1. Here it is 4 means, here it is 4 minus 1. Here it is 2 means, here it is 2 minus 1, that is 1 is there here, right? Only d is there means. So here if it is 3 means, you are getting 3 minus 1. So here it is n means, here you have to get n minus 1. That's how this formula is derived, guys. Getting it? That's a very small derivation. That's not even required actually. You can just remember this formula because it's going to be useful everywhere, right? That's it, guys. Now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot if you want. After this, let's see a few examples and learn the concept in depth. Okay, guys. Now let's look at the example 1. Example 1 says for the AP 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 2 and so on, write the first term A and the common difference D. Okay guys, I would say this is the most simplest question possible from this chapter guys. So this question is like in Dora the Explorer, she asked the water will be here itself, she'll be asking where is the water, and the sea will be behind itself, she'll ask where is the sea, right? So that's how even this question is guys. The answer is here itself, they're asking what's the first term. So first term is here itself, you have to just spot it, right? So A is nothing but the first term of the series, that is nothing but equal to 3 by 2. Getting it guys? So what is D? D is A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1 in this case will be 1 by 2 minus 3 by 2. If you do this, you will be getting minus, how much? Minus 2 by 2. That is minus 1. So D is minus 1 guys. That's all guys. That's all you have to do it in this question. As simple as that. Now let's go to the next example. Okay guys, now let's go to example number 2. Example 2 says, just a minute guys. So example 2 says, which of the following list of numbers does form an AP? If they form an AP, write the next two terms. Okay guys, so in this all 4 sub questions, they are given as a list of numbers, right? They are given still 4 numbers, and then we have to first check them if it forms an AP, right? If it forms an AP, we have to write the next two terms in the sequence. That's the question guys. So in an AP, as I said you, the common difference is going to be same throughout all the terms. Throughout all the preceding and the succeeding terms, there will be a common difference that's going to be same throughout all the terms, right? That is A2 minus A1 is going to give you D. That is the common difference, which is D is nothing but equal to A2 minus A1, right? Or else it's also, it can also be like A3 minus A2. So basically it's the difference between a successor and a preceder, right? Succeeding term and the preceding term, the difference will give you common difference, and that should be same throughout. Then we'll call it as an AP. So now if you see in this sequence guys, for example, let's do A2 minus A1. If you do A2 minus A1, you'll get 10 minus 4, which is 6. And if you do A3 minus A2, you will get 16 minus 10, which is also equal to 6. And if you do A4 minus A3, you will get 22 minus 16, which is also equal to 6. If you see, the common difference is maintained throughout the sequence, which means this follows an AP, right guys? That is, this is in a pattern of A, comma A plus D, comma A plus 2D, comma A plus 3D, right? So it's going so on, which means it forms an AP. Therefore, it is an AP. Now let's find the next term, that is after this term. So after this term, which term you'll get guys? You have to add the same common difference, right? The common difference, you got it as 6, which means you have to add the same common difference to the last term to get the next term in the sequence. That is in the ending term, which is the last term given in the sequence, it is 22. So if you add a common difference of 6 to the 22, you will be getting the next succeeding term. So 22 plus 6 will give you 28. To get the next succeeding term, you will be adding the common difference to 28. If you add 6 to 28, it becomes 34. So these are the two answers which we found guys. So the next two terms are 28 and 34. This is your first question, first sub question's answer. Now let's go to the second sub question. Second sub question, the sequence is 1, comma minus 1, comma minus 3, comma minus 5. Okay guys, so let's first check the common difference, whether it's same throughout the terms, right? So what we'll do A2 minus A1. If you do this, you'll be getting minus 1 minus A1 is 1. So you'll get it as minus 2. Okay guys, so the common difference between the first two terms, that is A1 and A2, you're getting as minus 2. Now let's check for the next two terms, that is minus 1 and minus 3, that is A3 minus A2. That is nothing but minus 3 minus of minus 1. Getting it guys? Minus 1 is this A2. You are doing A2, A3 minus, right? Minus in between. And minus 2, A2 is minus 1. Getting it? So it is minus 3 minus of minus 1. Minus into minus will become plus. 3 plus 1 will give you, minus 3 plus 1 will give you minus 2. Getting it? You are getting the same common difference. Let's do for the next term also. A4 minus A3. You'll get minus 5 minus of minus 3, which is nothing but equal to minus 2. If you see guys, throughout the sequence, the common difference between the terms is same, that is minus 2, which means the given sequence is an AP, right? So now let's find the next term of an AP. So what you'll do, you'll add the common difference to the last term of the AP. So minus 5, you're adding minus 2 to minus 5. Then this will become minus 7. So the next term in the AP is going to be minus 7. Now after minus 7, the next term after minus 7 is going to be minus 7 plus minus 2, that is minus 9. So the next term in the AP is going to be minus 9. So these are the two terms which they said us to find, right? Write the next two terms. So these are the two terms which we found. Here these are the two terms which we found. Now let's go to the third sub question. In third sub question they're given like minus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2. So if you see this, guys, you feel like there is some pattern, right? You feel like there is some pattern. Actually there is a pattern. It's like minus 2, 2, minus 2, 2, minus 2, 2. It keeps on repeating, but it doesn't mean that it's an AP. I'll tell you guys. Pattern is not equal to AP. AP means there should be a common difference between all the terms, between any two terms, any two succeeding and preceding terms. The common difference between the two terms should be same throughout the sequence. Only then you will be calling it as an AP. But here if you see, if you do A2 minus A1, you will be getting as 2 minus minus 2, you will be getting as 4. Now if you do A3 minus A2, if you do this, you will be getting minus 2 minus of 2, then you will get as minus 2 minus 2, you will get minus 4 as the difference. Between these two terms you are getting difference as minus 4, and between these two terms you are getting difference as plus 4. Getting it, guys? Between these two terms, for example, if you add plus 4 to minus 2, only then you will get 2, right? And if you add minus 4 to 2, again you will be getting minus 2. Getting it? See, for example, if 2 is here, if you want to get minus 2 is here, if you want to get plus 2, you have to add plus 4 to it, right? Only then you will get as plus 2. Now when you subtract minus 2 with it, minus 4, 2 plus 2, only then you will be getting minus 2. If you see here, the common difference D is changing from plus 2 to plus 4 to minus 4. It's changing, right? So common difference should be same throughout the sequence. Here it is not same throughout the sequence, so it is not an AP, not an arithmetic progression. It's not. Getting it, guys? Now let's go to the fourth sub question. In fourth sub question, if you see, again it seems like a pattern. It's like 1 1 1, 2 2 2, 3 3 3, 4 4 4, right? Each term, each number, each integer is repeating 3 times, and then the next integer is repeating to another 3 times, and it's going so on. Getting it? So but if you see, the common difference between A2 and A1 is 0, but if you see the common difference between A4 and A3, it's going to be 1. Getting it, guys? See, the common difference is D, right? A2 minus A1 gives you 0, but if you do A4 minus A3, you are getting it as 1, because 2 minus 1 is 1, which means the common difference is not the same, which means the sequence is not in an AP, which means you will conclude by saying not an AP. So guys, okay, now I'll move aside, you can take the screenshot now. Right, guys, took the screenshot. Okay, guys, so the important point is, for a sequence for a sequence to be in AP, the difference between a succeeding and a preceding term, that is two adjacent terms, should be same always. Getting it, guys? That is A n plus 1th term minus A of nth term should be D. Getting it? That should be true for any value of n. That is, so what does this mean is, for example, if A1, A2, A3 and so on is there, what is n plus 1? If n you put the value as 2, you will get the A3 term. So A3 and minus n is 2, right? So minus A of 2, that is A2, should give you D. For any term, it should give you the same common difference. Only then a sequence you will call it as an AP. That's the key point which you have to take it from this lecture, guys, right? So that's it for this lecture, guys, right? We solved 2 examples and then we learned what is an AP, right? If you didn't understand that, make sure that you watch the video again, and if you are not able to understand it, please comment down in the comment section. I'll make sure that I'll make a separate video on the introduction part of the AP. So that's it, guys, for this video, right? In the next video, we'll be going to the first exercise of this chapter, that's exercise 5.1, right? In that we'll be solving more such similar questions and you'll become more thorough with it. And before going to the exercise, you can yourself solve it once, and it will be like a good practice. And whichever question you are not able to solve, you can see my lectures, right, guys? So that's it for this video. Meet you in the next lecture. Until then, bye, guys. Keep practicing, keep studying. Bye.